This week, no other than DLT makes his debut on the show. We play one of the worst Spectrum Invaders games of all time. I wish that this was my family and this was my big brother. And we check out our first Acorn Atom game. Hello, it is me, it is Jace at Retrogames. Hello, how are you? Welcome to another show. Now, I am going to do something a bit different today, and this is because back in the last episode of the Retrogames show, I talked about an old magazine I found called Your Computer. And I found some amazing insights and history stuff and adverts and things I'd never seen before. And it was a bit like an eye-opener. It was a bit like a reinvigoration into the world of retro gaming for me. It's like, oh, of course, there's all this other stuff I've never ever seen before. And I really enjoyed going through that magazine. So I thought, well, I'll do some more of that because I've got some more issues of that magazine. The magazine is called Your Computer. It came out between 1982 and I think 1988, 89, something like that. It's a multi-format magazine. It's older than your more familiar, probably Crash Zap magazines, or like your single format. It's a multi-format magazine, and it just included so many amazing things. So I thought, well, I'll go through some more magazines, pick out some adverts and some pages that I think are exciting, and maybe show some of the games, actually what the games are actually like. Go through it properly this time. I think what it's done for me is it reinstilled that 8-bit is my core. I think going back to these adverts, they're so familiar. They just take me back to being a kid again, when video games, when computers and consoles were just so ridiculously exciting. And playing any game from that era, just like, I mean, the most feeble, pathetic games were actually exciting to play because we'd never seen anything like it. It really was the cusp. It was a new frontier. So yeah, this takes me right back to that when things are exciting. So I hope you'll indulge me. I hope you'll see stuff you like in this magazine too. I've got a couple actually. I'm starting in 1983, a little bit older than the one that I covered on the Retrogames show. I'm going to start with this one. This is, I'll show you here, it is Your Computer, February 1983, Volume 3, Number 2. That makes me think maybe it started in 1981, but I haven't got any magazines that old, but I'd be excited to see them. From this era, we are talking about ZX81, Auric, the early machines, Jupiter Ace, TI-99, Atari 800, that BBC Micro, that kind of early computer stuff. Some Spectrum stuff. Spectrum was new then. 1983, was, you know, ZX81 was probably had sold a lot more units than the Spectrum at this point in history. Okay, enough of the rabbiting. Let's get on and show you some stuff. And I'm going to go quite quickly because there's so much to show you. I've put post-it notes of all my favourite things that I found, and we'll just go through it, and I'll stop when I find something really I want to show you a bit more about. Let's see how we go. Let's get started.
What's on the table?
Now, first thing there is a really early advert for Melbourne House, and you've got the Hobbit there. You've got Wizard and the Princess. They're covering VIC-20, another big format from this time. That was just a quick, I just want to show you that advert. But now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to start peeling off my post-it notes. What about this? A ZX99. What the heck is that? And look at it. It's a massive block that plugged into the back of your ZX81. What did it do? Well, the thing that it did was it allowed you to connect 4 cassette players to your ZX81. Yes. You have to wonder, don't you? Why? Why would you need 4? 2 loading and 2 saving, controllable by the computer. I don't know. What a strange device. I've never seen it in my life. Next thing. Now check this wonderful, sexy advert for the Epson HX20 all-in-one computer. Yes, that has got a screen. It's got a screen. It prints stuff out. But yeah, you've got a guy using it in the bath, He's on the telephone. No telephone connects to this computer. I don't know. These were strange devices at that time where they suddenly introduced LCD screens onto computer keyboards, and you know, that was good enough. You didn't have to connect it to a TV. But yeah, I just thought, what a great advert. Now look at the age of this one. This is an advert for a company called CTEC, ZX Spectrum Games. Yes, Gorfian Invaders. I've never ever seen it in my life. Advert for that, but it does exist. CTEC, they actually quite nice inlays. They did versions of Kong and Frogger and stuff like that, but I've never seen Gorfian Invaders. Now here is the proof that early games are a bit ropier than the later ones. It's a very flickery mess. The aliens are going all over the place. It's rubbish. Casio Magic, another advert you would never see outside of this year. The best way to put 1,568 steps in your pocket. It's not a pedometer, it's a pocket computer. Yes, the pocket computer, the PB100. I had one of these. I did get one probably a bit later, probably in the mid 80s, just to muck around with. And I did write programs on it, but it's a very unique device for this time. I love this advert. What a beautiful what a beautiful storage solution for your Spectrum and your TV, as long as your TV is the right size. They also make a version for the ZX81. Now this is one of the earliest adverts I have ever seen for the classic game Football Manager on the Spectrum and ZX81, Kevin Tom's classic football management game. And I was really surprised the address says that they are in Milton Keynes. Local boys, I didn't know, Kevin, you were living local, and I have spoken to Kevin. When I made the Retrogames magazine, he did an interview with me, which I did put out in that magazine. I know, hard to believe, but yes, Jace and Kevin Toms have talked. I think it was on the phone though. I don't remember meeting him. I didn't meet him. But yeah, what a beautiful advert, and it says spectacular. Now in 3D. I mean, do you really think Football Manager looks like 3D? I guess. I mean, it's got a view. But yeah, just such a lovely advert. Obviously this game really went huge, and didn't they make a fortune? Didn't eventually, because they owned the rights to Football Manager, because Kevin Toms had the rights to the words Football Manager as a game. Sega had to give him a massive payout when they wanted to make the more recent Football Manager series. So he's probably living it up somewhere, having a brilliant life, just because of the name of his classic game rather than the game itself. Early advert here for Microgen, really early advert there for Level 9, and a really early advert here for New Generation. Yeah, you know, tiny adverts for well-known companies from the early days of 8-bit computing. Now you know the label Micromania. What did they make? Cosmic Kanga. They made quite a few quite decent Spectrum games, but this is a really early advert for their output for the Acorn Atom computer. Yes, I mean, we never see games for the Acorn Atom. All 12K RAM. Wow. And what have we got here? We've got a Puckman, Omega Mission, Centipede and Protector. And here is Protector, the one game we've had in stock for the Acorn Atom. And it's a pretty decent Defender game, isn't it? Obviously there's no colour. It's very basic, but it's pretty fast. It's pretty nippy. I think it does sound a bit like a Spectrum. When you fire, yeah, it's kind of a Spectrum-y sound. Nice. Now, what about this strange advert? Auto RAM, the sole Sinclair agent for the Arab world. Now, you'd never see an advert like this now. Now also agent for Jupiter Ace and Apple. We are interested in software publications, add-ons, etc. Do not miss this opportunity. And you can see there in small letters at the bottom, we are working to develop an Arabic computer. Anyone interested, please contact us. Wow. Wow, there is a bit of history. I don't remember any Saudi Arabian computers, but maybe there was. Maybe there was an 8-bit computer released over there that I don't know anything about. I wouldn't be surprised. And I'm going to finish this particular issue of the magazine with this lovely advert from Bug Bite. Look at that, a double-page spread. From difficult to suicidal. I don't think you would use the word suicidal in an advert today. It's just like some sort of like busy games hangout. Is this where people used to go? They'd hang out and just play games around their computers, like some sort of youth club. And there's some pictures of the games that come out. These are early, so there's lots of VIC-20, ZX81 stuff there, Spectrum Invaders. But yeah, what a beautiful advert from the early days of the legendary Bug Byte software label. Now I'm going to move on to another 1983 issue of Your Computer. This is the December 1983, so we're right at the end now. And it is really, really fat. Look how many pages this has got. And look how many post-it notes I've got in it. Yeah, to bring this one to a close. 331 pages. I mean, magazines now, they're like pamphlets, aren't they? They're like flimsy things so they can stick freebies on the front. But back then, this was only 80 pence. It sort of kept me reading for an entire month, I think. Anyway, loads of great stuff to show you in here. And the very first one is on the inside front page. And it is an Ocean advert. But it's an Ocean advert with a missing game. So the super rare Caterpillar there on VIC-20, Robotics, which did come out. Do you remember? They were just called Spectrum Games. Robotics was released just on the label Spectrum Games, but it was Ocean. It's a very early release. Got Mr. Wimpy, you know, that was an early game, but there you have it, Rescue. There is a Rescue released by CRL, but that is Ocean Rescue. That is MIA, Missing in Action. It never ever came out. I've also never seen Road Frog there for the Oric. I'm sure I don't think I've ever seen that. For the Oric, but that doesn't say it doesn't exist. I mean, it could well do. I could well have seen it, I just don't remember. And here it is on the Oric. Note the rather lovely graphics for the frog. Road Frog by Ocean. Now, it did come out for the Spectrum under their previous label, Spectrum Games. Ridiculously rare game. And why does the frog look like a TIE fighter? Now, what about this for an advert? That is Spectra Video. Look at all those games and cartridges. Spectra Video computers. But look at the advert here. It is, yeah, it's an MSX computer. But it looks like it's endorsed by James Bond. Yeah, Roger Moore with his signature. That is so weird. Yeah, James Bond endorsed Spectra Video MSX computers. Who knew it? Obscure label there, Peaksoft, Champions you will find, but SAS, that is a really rare game, SAS by Peaksoft. This double page spread is for Sinclair add-ons, and just look what they are. They are computer stands. They are just little stands to tilt up your computer. I mean, the Spectrum Plus had little feet that came out, but to make up for that, back on their rubber keyed days, you had to buy a special little stand. I just thought, wow, that's unusual, isn't it? Unusual. A little thing just to make your Spectrum tilt up a bit. I wonder how many they sold. I really do wonder. PSS, now you'll know this company from the Spectrum and the Commodore 64, but they also really doubled down on the Oric 1. We've got Gauntlet there, Light Cycle, that came out on the Spectrum, Invaders, the Ultra, Hopper, which I think came out in multi-format, and Centipede. Yes, that's a very pretty Oric special page. Now, what about this? 2 Commodore 64 games from Mondata, Taxman and Supercopter. I have never seen those in the flesh. I do know they came out. Let's just have a little look at Taxman. Now, remember, this is early. This is what early 1982 Commodore 64 games look like. It doesn't look like a Commodore 64 game. It looks weak even for the VIC-20, using very little of the capabilities of the machine. And it's a maze game like Pac-Man, but the enemies can walk through the maze. Ridiculous. And while we're here, let's check Supercopter. It's a simulation game. You're not really sure what's going on. Nothing happens out the window. Check the map. Yeah, that is the map. There's a lot of mountains. Yeah, wait for the screen to draw itself in and see if you can get somewhere. Rubbish. But what about this? Yes, that is not the Retro Bear. That is DLT, Dave Lee Travis, the hairy cornflake himself, world famous Radio 1 DJ of the time. Monster Challenge. Now this is a very strange advert. It's from a company called Twig Systems. Never heard of them. No, nor have I. Twig Systems. They made a series of 6 text adventure games. And if you completed each one, you got a code word, and then if you put the code words in the right order, you could send him off to DLT. Well, I guess they just drew him. You could send him off, and you could win £10,000. So you had to buy all their games, and you had to solve them, and then you could win 10,000. I mean, this is like nothing else. No, this would never happen, would it now? Forcing people to buy your whole catalogue of games to try and win some money. I guess it was a huge failure because all 5 or 6, I've forgotten again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All 6 of these games are MIA. They're all Spectrum games, and they are absolutely nowhere. You will not find them. Take the Strain, Air Sea Missile, Cambridge, Othello, The Tower, and The Quiz. They are £9 each, or £45 the set. It feels like a scam, and I wonder how much DLT got out of this. Here we go, light gun fans. The Stack Light Rifle, $29.95, and it had games for it. It came out for loads of formats, but it also came out for Spectrum. And that little picture there is the game Rats and Cats. Again, MIA. Nobody has ever found a copy of Rats and Cats, the shooting game. Now, my guess is shoot the rats, avoid the cats. Optima Software. Now this looks like a primarily BBC company, and I think I've seen this game once, but look at that Atomic Protector. I think that's got quite a lavish box. Let's see if we can find a picture of Atomic Protector. Remember, this is 1983. Now this maze game, it's like Pac-Man, but the bad guys, they don't actually kill you. They just push you away and then you kill them by getting the dots. It's all about timing. The enemies just push you, they do not kill. And another super obscure colour advert. This is for Boom Software, and you might recognise Ski Run. I think we've had Ski Run in stock, might have been in stock now. Logomania, a little bit familiar. Space Raider, obviously a very common name, but I don't think I've ever seen that artwork before. But here it is. Wait for the aliens to pop up and then shoot them. Oh, it's annoying. Come on then. Come on then. Here it comes. Bang. And Annihilator, another common name, but yeah, very obscure games for VIC-20 and Commodore 64. How many Defender style games can we fit in one show? Here's another one. No, Annihilator is special because it has the number 64 written on the side of your spaceship. Drive yourself to distraction with this BBC buggy. Yes, a robot that you connect to your BBC Model B and drive around your desk, made by Economatics. What happened to them? Ahead of their time, I'd say. A full colour advert for the company Temptation Software. Pretty obscure releases. I know the game Admiral Graph Spree. I'd say that must have been their biggest hit, but there are titles on here I have never heard of, including Dungeons of Doom. I don't think I've ever seen that, but more excitingly, Godzilla and the Martians. And there you can see Godzilla at the top looking cross. Here are the aliens. Check the jump. I think this game's written in BASIC. These are the early days of the Spectrum. Let's go upstairs. This jump is really hard to time. Oh, I died. I know, you're kind of glad. Death Cruiser, and this is a semi-rare game by Noble House Software. I think it came out for Spectrum. I think we've had it in stock. We might even have it in stock now. But look at the advert. It says, and this is well ahead of its time, it says, an artificial intelligence game in that little logo. Wow, AI back then on the Spectrum. Scramble. You're the Zargat commander of a cosmic battleship of fearful power and destructiveness. A super intelligent breed of biotechnical beings whose prodigious capacity for strategic logic makes them potent adversaries indeed. Death Cruiser is more than just a game. In it, you enter an alarming, different world in which the awesome new adversarial potential of true artificial intelligence seeks to dominate. Wow. On the Spectrum. Who knew it? A lovely double page spread from CDS, another classic Spectrum company. CDS games are changing the face. I don't know, in a very strange computer with odd buttons on. I don't know why they did that. Strange advert. Where are those kids now? Is it one kid? It's one kid. It's just one kid. A Lothlorien advert now from the Action Master, and we've covered this before because we have covered the game Bedlam, but really Iron Maiden should sue there because that looks like Eddie from the Iron Maiden covers. The ultimate style of 1983. Yeah, doesn't that make your computer desk look sad now? Beautiful laminated wood effect on all those brilliant... Give your computer a first-class home, absolutely. Now this is a mega advert. DK-Tronics, another legend from the 8-bit era. Just pictures of all their games, and some of them games I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Woodworm Whacker.
I'll admit I was expecting something a bit more gentle. Maybe a little less running around shooting things. Are we inside a chair leg? Woodworm Whacker doesn't look right.
The Spectrum ones I think I've all seen really. Personal Finance, I don't know, Personal Finance. Don't think I've ever seen that. 3D Grand Prix on the ZX81, some serious software. Yeah, I think I've seen most of these. Maybe not Galacticans at the bottom there, Galacticans. I don't know.
Yes, you know it's a Galaxian game when there's a sink plunger on the front of your spaceship. I quite like the explosions. Remember, this is early. This is a 1982 game. Them explosions are pretty cool. They're pretty animated. And I like the sweep. It's definitely Galaxian, isn't it? It's definitely Galaxian. Look at the way the bullets shoot sideways. It's quite authentic. Yes, unexpectedly authentic, this one.
Yeah, but what a fabulous way to archive all your releases. Brilliant. Now, I saw this advert for years. The Trick Stick. It is a joystick. It's a bizarre, I guess like a Wii controller. It senses where it is in the air. And you whiz it around and you press these little white buttons on it and work. I always wanted one. I never ever saw one in the shops. I've never ever had one, which seems mad. I don't think I've ever seen one available. You know, I want to have a play with it. One of these days, a Trick Stick is going to come my way and I'll figure out what the fuss was about. I mean, it obviously wasn't very popular, so maybe it was pretty difficult to control. A double page spread from A and F. Wow. Most famous for Chucky Egg, of course, but what is that? What is that game there? Dashing Dougie. I have never ever seen Dashing Dougie. I've done a little bit of a research. It is MIA. Nobody's ever seen it. Did it ever come out? I hope so. I hope one day we're going to find Dashing Dougie and it's going to be the game of our dreams. Not incredibly rare games, but Computer Solve, Mrs. Mop and Birdie Barrage. You don't see many adverts where the protagonist has a fag hanging out of their mouth. Not these days. Yeah, just a nice advert, that one. Alligator. Now, you do find quite a lot of Alligator games. We've had most of them, I think, in stock. These are all Commodore 64 titles. Brands, yes. Balloon Rescue, yes. Bat Attack, yes. Damsel in Distress. I don't think I know that one.
Well, the colours are bright. You can tell it's a Commodore 64 game. Very slow sprite action. I hit the octopus. I guess it's meant to be a giant spider, but it's kind of like an octopus. Oh, better timing, better timing. Now, we are collecting these little white, I don't know what they are, girders. So slow, so slow. Died again. Jump there this time, jump. Oh, it died. No, we got away with that one. It's actually quicker to jump than it is to walk. Now, this is a flaw of the game, surely. So we collect these boxes, or these girders. They are supplies. Supplies so that we can build a bridge and rescue the damsel. I'm going to fast forward a bit here. Yeah, you lay these blocks. You can then climb up on them. Maybe it's ahead of its time. I am skipping a bit here. Yeah, we go down a level and then we can get all these bonus things at the top. They remind me of school days. And then we build a little bridge and then we rescued the damsel. Brilliant.
Aztec Tomb Adventure, I think that just got renamed to Aztec. And Squasher Frog. Oh, I can't remember. I think maybe it's called something else now. I don't know, maybe. But what a lovely advert. Here's an advert for Suncom joysticks. And what is that? Some sort of touch-sensitive travel pad. I've never seen that before. I do love the TAC-2 in the middle. And the Slick Stick, I think we've got one of them in stock. The Starfighter, though, I don't think I've ever seen that either. Very nice. I love the metallic look of that, but I'm guessing it's plastic. Here's a long strip ad from Contrast Software in Hampshire, and look how many titles are on here that you have never seen in your life. We've got Home Calc, Pontoon, Pawn Chess, Pawn. Stop it. But one of those games really sticks out. I mean, that's that one, 3D Defender. 3D Defender by Contrast Software. I did a little bit more investigation.
Sorry if you are epileptic. Quick, turn it off now. What an intro. Well done, Michael Levers. Wow. That is... Okay. It's in your face, isn't it? In your face. Okay, the game itself is actually a 3D shooter. Move your sight and shoot the bad aliens. We've kind of seen all this before. These sound effects are full on. They are really full on. Hang on, didn't we just see this ship? This is the ship out of Cruiser. It's the one controlled by an amazing AI. It's why it's gone. It's escaped.
Now here is a historically important advert. This is an advert for Crash, but not the magazine. This is pre-Crash magazine. This is advertising when they were a mail order company. We actually had one of their catalogues in stock once, which we sold far too cheaply. But yeah, isn't that funny to see some Ollie 3 artwork in the middle there, but not for a magazine, nothing to do with magazines. It was to do with buying games, and they're just, over 300 titles in stock. They were a mail order company. So strange, isn't it? Another weird advert. This time it's for a company called Whitsoft. Election Fever or Oil Baron. They came out for Oric, BBC and Dragon. But never seen them in my life. A really early and really poorly produced advert there for Interceptor Micros. You'll know most of those games. Panic 64, Crazy Kong, Frogger, Intruders. They're very, very weird on that pink. I mean, you could afford one colour and you went for pink. Strange. 3 new games for the ZX Spectrum: Diffusion, Whirlwind and Magic Worm. Now Diffusion and Magic Worm are out there somewhere. Whirlwind is MIA, nobody's ever seen it. But I do like the logo, Lyndhurst Limited. That's not hand drawn, is it?
I do like to show people my Magic Worm. Anyway, yes, it's a very, very familiar game. You'll remember this from your old Nokia mobile phone. It's a version of Snake. But just wait till you hear the soundtrack. Here we go. David Bowie, eat your heart out. Now, this Lindenhurst game was actually re-released as part of the K-Tel Double-Siders. Yes, but this time just worms. Where did the magic go?
Look at this family. They are so happy, all crowded around the TV. Introducing 4 new programs from Keysoft. And there is a family tree program. I think we've got one of these actually in stock. Super, super rare. The family tree one. But I don't think I've ever seen the others. Family pack. The dietitian and key file. It's a different era, isn't it? And here's a very pretty double page spread from Virgin Games, all very much in the style of their inlay art. No surprises there. I mean, the TI-99 games, Fun Pack and Robo Pods. I don't know those.
I wasn't expecting this big green monster. I'm climbing up into its vagina. I'm sorry to use that word. I just can't really see this as anything else. Maybe it's my sick mind. Maybe we're just climbing a tree. But
we don't get much TI-99 stuff in, unfortunately. But if we did, they'd be expensive. And while there are hundreds and hundreds of other things I could have shown you in this magazine, I'm going to finish on this one. Cross My Palm with Silver. This is a game, I guess. It's called Destiny, and it's by Foresight Computing. And it's for the Spectrum. It's a fortune. I've never seen it, never heard of it. MIA. Reveal the secrets of your future time and time again with the aid of a standard pack of playing cards and our top quality cassette packed with over 30k of basic. Over 30k! Just imagine if you sent them a text. Oh wow, there's a lot of memory in that. This reading is based on the method employed by the famous diviner Madame Lenormand and features a built-in option for reading printout via a ZX printer. So you get your friends round, get your pack of cards, and tell all their fortunes thanks to the Spectrum. I just think, well, I'd like to find that. There's so many things, so many hundreds of things I'd like to find from these magazines. Hopefully I still will. I'm not dead yet. There's more games to come. I'm sure some of these will eventually find their way to me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Hope it wasn't too much of a rush. Hope it was exciting for you as it was exciting for me. I might come back with some more of these, maybe 1984 next time. Until then, well, until next time, happy retro gaming, retro gamers!
Retrogames says thank you for watching. Retrogames says thank you for watching.
If you don't need me, I'm going.